when you go out training, I get the same buzz as when I run. You know, you're pushing yourself to the limit to get yourself fit, and hopefully that will benefit you for the future. And I just get the same enjoyment just going out even and competing. Although I'm going to come in last in a run, I mean, obviously I'm not going to be silly about it. I'm going to come last because in Scotland you don't have race walks, you have runs. Because race walking in Scotland is not recognised as a sport, so I'm going to come in last or near last. But that doesn't bother me, funnily enough. It would have bothered me when I was running, but it wouldn't bother me now because I know the predicament I'm in that can't change. I just got to live with the situation I've got. But I didn't find it difficult, to be honest. I never find it difficult. I just say, got to get on with it, you know, and that's just the way I look at things.
When you're out running, do you think about what's happened to you? Does it go through your mind, you know, just...
Occasionally it does. That's a good question. It does. Occasionally it does. And I say to myself, when that does go through my mind, I say to myself, how lucky I am to be able to do this, you know, because I always think, even though you lose limbs or you get transplants, I mean, that's no the worst thing that could happen to anybody, because I always think the worst thing for anybody must be blindness, you know, because what a joy it is to get up every morning and say, well, I'm still alive, and you can see the beauty of the world. And I mean, I always say that because we're working out in the country and belonging the country and working in the gardening profession, you get the beauty every day. And I think the worst person must be a person that's blind, and losing limbs to me is nothing. I didn't find it a problem, to be honest with you. I really don't. I just take every day as it comes.
You just get out and keep running, don't you?
It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me in the slightest. I pour about in the garden. I cut my hedges the other day with a petrol hedge trimmer. And my wife, she's always on me for climbing ladders and everything, you know, with a hedge trimmer. Oh, so why worry? If I fall off the ladder, I can't break my legs.
Now, there is a fundraising campaign starting to get you some new limbs. Just tell us about that.
Yeah, well, the renal doctors in Ward 22 in Nine Wells, they were not impressed with how much work I'm trying to attempt to do to get organ donation on the map. They've decided to repay me by getting together and raising a Just Giving site to raise money to enable me to get proper limbs to do what I want to do, is to get back running again. And they're going to raise funds for me to do this. So I've got an appointment with the London Prosthetics down in Leeds for an assessment, and hopefully in the near future get these limbs that are required.
What difference would that make to you?
Oh, it would be just unbelievable. To even get back to some form of running. I mean, it might have been silly and saying I'm going to get back to what I was doing, but if I can run, I run any description, that would just be great, rather than race walk. Race walking's fine just now with the limbs I've got, but I feel I could have the fitness to get back running again, because I feel that good with the transplant, you know. It's changed me that much. I feel I could get back running, you know, if I were given the limbs.
Could you be a marathon man again?
I would like to think it would be a half marathon. I would love to do a marathon again, it'd be great, but I don't think I would maybe get that far. There might be ages on against me there, I'm not sure. But then when you look at Jenny Woodall, 91, I mean, maybe age is on my side. You know, I'm only 61, so I've got 30 years to go to reach her age. So maybe in 30 years I might be able to do a marathon on good prosthetic limbs. You know.
Now tell us as well, you were joking about like most runners have to look after their muscles and spray their muscles. Now just tell us what happens when you go out.
Well, normally like when people go for events, they take into with their running gear, they take their deep heat and all the other lotions, but I'm in a different situation. I've got to take my tin of WD-40 to make sure the limbs don't seize up, and maybe a screwdriver, a Phillips screwdriver as well, in case some of the screws will loose. Just for safety purposes.
This weekend you've got a race coming. Just explain, you know, what you obviously you're training for that, you're preparing for that. Just explain a wee bit about this race and why you're doing it, Ronnie.
Well, this is the Great Edinburgh Run on Sunday, and there's the 5 and 10k events as well as various 1.5k's for younger kids. Well, I'm doing the 5k event again to raise awareness for organ donation, and I'm doing it along beside Laura Pearman. She's a member of the Edinburgh Royal Infirmary Transplant Unit. I met her when I was through for the transplant in May 2009. So she's asked to race walk it with me this time instead of Lorna Marson, who's doing the 10k. So I'm brave enough to do the 10k this time. I'm just sticking to the 5. So we're doing that together for, again, publicising organ donation, wearing the T-shirts to try and get the message across to people in Edinburgh and surrounding area, So hopefully, I'm confident. I'm confident I can do a 5K because I train for that distance, so I'm not worrying about that.
Now, a former marathon runner whose life was saved by a kidney transplant is racing again in a bid to recruit more organ donors. Ronnie McIntosh from Dundee has switched to race walking as both of his legs had to be amputated. He'll compete in the Great Edinburgh Run this weekend. Ronnie McIntosh striding out in the street near his Dundee home. He puts in a 3-mile fast walk training session every second day.
I get the same buzz as when I run, you're pushing yourself to the limit to get yourself fit, and hopefully that will benefit you for the future.
61-year-old Ronnie suffers from a rare autoimmune condition called Sjögren's syndrome. It led to kidney failure and the amputation of both of his legs. Before he became seriously ill in 1993, he was a successful marathon and fell runner. He now competes in race walking. Earlier this month, Ronnie completed a 10-kilometre event with surgeon Lorna Marson. She performed his kidney transplant after other doctors doubted he was fit enough.
Now I'm willing to take a chance on this man, and I'm going to do the operation. So thankfully, she took on the operation, transplanting the kidney, and as far as I believe, within half a minute of the kidney being connected, it started to work, which was very unusual. Normally, people need dialysis sessions maybe 2-3 times after the transplant. I never needed any, and since that day I've never looked back. With the transplant, it's just worked, touch wood, it's worked perfect. Thanks to the donor.
Ronnie's preparing for a 5-kilometre walk in Edinburgh this weekend. It's another chance to promote organ donation.
It seems quite sad that people go out of this life with perfectly good organs that could be used to transplant other people and give other people a new lease of life. I mean, you can't get any better than a second chance of life. That's what I got, a second chance of life. Not many people get that.
A fundraising campaign's now underway to buy Ronnie a set of artificial limbs designed to take the impact of running. It could see him return to the marathon trail, stepping up the pace in a remarkable race for life.
And finally tonight, Dundee's very own Blade Runner is limbering up to carry the Olympic torch. Double amputee Ronnie McIntosh has been fitted with a new set of sports limbs and is now in training to join the torch relay team next month. Susan Nicholson has been to meet him.
Ronnie McIntosh setting off for his morning training walk with an extra spring in his step. He's just been fitted with a new set of artificial limbs, specially designed for running.
Just feels tremendous. It's just hopefully now I'll never look back. I want to look forward now and see what I can achieve on my new limbs. They're styled on the same limbs as Oscar Pistorius, the Blade Runner. So I'm lucky in that respect that I've got the same type of limbs as him, but on a shorter blade, so they can get a training shoe on.
62-year-old Ronnie lost both legs after a rare autoimmune condition led to kidney failure. He had an organ transplant and fought his way back to fitness, switching from the marathon and fell running he enjoyed in his youth to race walking. On June the 12th, he'll step out with the Olympic torch when it arrives in Dundee. He's one of 9 torch bearers who'll carry the iconic flame through the city.
I'm just totally delighted to be selected and I can't wait. I'm getting really excited about the big day. It's a big honour for obviously the 40-year-old man that lost his life, and myself and another 7 people gained the ultimate gift of a second chance of life. And it's really an honour for the donor and his family that I'm doing this.
Ronnie's hoping to pick up the pace as he gets used to his new legs and one day return to running. It's a comeback which starts in grand style with the Olympic torch relay. Susan Nicholson, STV News, Dundee.
And hopefully plenty of people will turn out to cheer him on.
All the way down there.
Can I get you to walk past me actually? Well done, you. Great to see you. Oh.
Great stuff, well done.
Hi. Oh, so cute.
Tributes have been paid to the man dubbed Dundee's Blade Runner, who's died after a lifetime battling illness. 62-year-old Ronnie McIntosh had both his legs amputated and a kidney transplant, but continued to compete in race walking and carried the Olympic torch through the city last summer. Here's Susan Nicholson.
A local hero meeting his fans, Olympic torchbearer Ronnie McIntosh at the parade in Dundee last June. Ronnie suffered from a rare autoimmune condition called Sjögren's syndrome. It led to kidney failure, the amputation of both of his legs and an organ transplant. Before he became seriously ill in 1993, he was a successful marathon and fell runner, competing with Dundee Hawkhill Harriers. And there was no stopping him after he was fitted with artificial limbs.
I say to myself, how lucky I am to be able to do this, you know, because I always think, even though you lose limbs or you get transplants, I mean, that's no the worst thing that could happen to anybody. What a joy it is to get up every morning and say, well, I'm still alive, and you can see the beauty of the world, and losing limbs to me is nothing. I didn't find it a problem, to be honest with you. I really don't. I just take every day as it comes.
I think Ron's legacy will be to encourage other people to continue the encouragement that he gave them to get the best out of themselves, whether it's athletics on the track, anything in life, to get better. He helped not only athletes, but people who were ill at that time. He would give them inspiration to do well when they were